What does it feel like standing in front of 90,000 fans at Wembley?
Now, it's my normal now. I was speaking to someone about this the other day. From when I first started boxing, 3 years later, we was at the World Championship, European Championships, the Olympic Championships. I turned professional. 2.5 years later, 3 years later, I'm fighting for a World Championship. 3.5 years later, I'm at Wembley. So what certain people dream of, I've managed to make it my normal. So I don't know. It doesn't mean much to me anymore. I'm just rolling with it and just having fun with it.
We have a follow-up from Stephen Mudhausen of sportingnews.com. Please go ahead.
Just had a follow-up for Anthony, and Eddie, if you want to chime in on this as well, it'd be appreciated. I wanted just to get your thoughts on why do you think Povetkin is so vastly underrated heading into this fight? Do you think it's because of all the Wilder and possible Fury talk, or is it just the fact that the Povetkin skills are just not what aren't up to snuff to a lot of people's time?
No, well, I'll jump in. Go on, Josh.
Go ahead. No, I'm listening. Go on.
Okay. Well, for me, I think this is a fight where anybody in boxing is telling me this is a tough fight, and this is a fight where what AJ commented earlier, he doesn't have necessarily the commercial value of other fighters. But when you look at the independent ratings, we use the Ring magazine, he's number 3 in the world. So if you can't take him seriously, then, as people say, you don't know your boxing. But, I think that the key here is the progression of Anthony Joshua. This is his 22nd fight. And in that fight, in that period, he has dealt with Dillian White, Dominic Breazeale, Vladimir Klitschko, Carlos Takam, Joseph Parker, and after September 22nd, Alexander Povetkin, all within 22 fights. So what he's doing is continuously boxing the best in the world, the top 10s, the other world champions, the legends, the guys who come in at short notice that could have potentially affect his style. And now, another mandatory challenger in Alexander Povetkin. One defeat to Vladimir Klitschko. That is it. And in all the other fights, but also in this fight with Povetkin, it's not just about what you're facing with Povetkin. It's what you're facing with the team and with the country as well. Because let me tell you, the world of boxing, Andrei Rybinski, the country of Russia, even the government, they are absolutely desperate for Povetkin to beat Anthony Joshua, for a Russian heavyweight to knock out a British heavyweight at Wembley on September the 22nd. So in my opinion, this fight is Anthony's toughest outside of Klitschko, and maybe even including Klitschko, because of everything that's at stake. So we take this threat extremely seriously. I think this is even a tougher fight than some of the other guys that are getting mentioned as future opponents. So I know that also this is a great fight for Anthony Joshua to show his improvements and to show that he's the very best heavyweight in the world.
Yeah. I think Eddie touched on some of the things that I feel. And the last thing I'll touch on is that it's just the market is so different now. I think, will we see any all-time greats come through anymore? I highly doubt it, because there's always comparison to what the old-timers were like, and there's no room for error anymore. I sit in my little room in Sheffield, and with social media, I can track people's lifestyles, and I'm seeing people my age driving Lamborghinis, sitting on the beach, drinking Desperados, and I'm thinking, wow, at their age, when my parents were 28, 25, they were struggling, trying to find extra work. So no one shows the struggle. And what makes this fight and the boxing industry so difficult now is that it's all about your perfect record, a perfect fight. I get knocked down, he gets knocked down, I get knocked down, he gets knocked down. My eye spits, his eye spits, I knock him out. Whoa, what a fight that was. There's no room for boxing expertise. It's a different era, and it's so much pressure. Not only the fact that I've got to face Alexander Povetkin, who is a highly ranked challenger. He's coming to win. There's no doubt about it, and I'm coming to win. But it's all the pressure surrounding the sport of boxing now as well, because the rest of the world is so commercialized. don't think it leaves room for any error anymore. And this is what I'm facing now. And it's not like I'm a featherweight where I can go out there and box 12 rounds and I come out of there with a little scratch. There's a possibility that he could swing a sweet left hook, boom, it's lights out, history changes. And that's enough pressure in itself because you know what the backlash comes with. And then you've got guys like my opponents out there who, they understand what it takes to be a boxer, but they discredit it. There's not a positive word to say about no one anymore in this game. So there's a whole lot of pressure that comes around the sport now. And you've just got to be so tough-minded because that's what I said about Alexander Usyk. It's about your skill anymore. It's about your will. How much can you take in the ring and how much stick can you take outside of the ring? You'll see like a different generation. Like I see Javonte Davis the other day on his Snapchat said, I'm done with boxing. It doesn't respect the real anymore. So you can see from a mental aspect, it's affecting certain fighters now. So it's a big fight because there is so much to lose these days. Your credibility, your respect, your marketability, all these things. I was watching Lennox Lewis's top 4 career losses today. I watched Vladimir Klitschko versus Samuel Peters. And I was just like, wow, look how far these guys have come in their journey. It hasn't been Wembley every night for Vladimir Klitschko. It hasn't been, sensational fights every night for Vlad. Same with Lennox Lewis, undisputed champ. But now, the part in the middle, that struggle, is so easy to forget about. But this is what is exposed to the world right now. I am going through the hard part of my career. And that's why this fight is so hard, because I'm not the finished article. I still make mistakes, but it makes me exciting to the public because they know I'm not the finished article. And I've just got to stay on track, stay strong-minded until the day I'm done with it, so I can really see how far I could take this boxing. Because if I listen, and that's one thing I said to my friend the other day, with all the negativity that goes around in today's era, imagine I listened to everyone's opinion, reverse it about 8 years ago when I first started. I would have never had my first fight because I was a lot worse then than I am now. So imagine I listened to everyone's opinion back then. That's why today I have to be strong enough to block it out, because if I listen to everyone's opinion today, I'll never be able to see where I'll get to in the next 8 years. So I've got to put the blinkers on, focus, and just give it my best with Alexander Povetkin, because, as Eddie said, this is not just about me and Povetkin. This is about his country. This is about my country. This is about America, even with Deontay Wilder. This is about, as I said, marketability. There's so much that goes into this that people don't see, but yet I choose to project the glamorous life of being a heavyweight champion. But there's a lot of struggle behind the scenes that come with it.